So about a year ago, I ordered these chair kits from Matt Cremona when he was doing his pre-order when he first set up the chair business. And I'm finally getting around to setting them because I'm finally getting around to doing projects for us. So I'm just gonna walk you through the process here. And hopefully he delivered on what he's going for with this business, which I definitely fall right in the category of, which is a lot of people make really nice tables for themselves or clients. I mostly do them for clients, gonna do one for myself, and then send clients away to buy chairs somewhere else, which I often do, or make their own table and then have to buy chairs because they're just so much work, so time consuming, and either don't have the skill or interest. For me, it's a bit of both, mostly interest. I just don't want to put that much time into making that many pieces. So these are mass manufactured, all the components, and my understanding is just some final sanding, finish prep, and assembly, which on 4 chairs is still gonna be a lot of work. So we'll get these unboxed, see what we're looking at, and start putting them together. Cool, so got everything unboxed. Very impressed. This stuff is super cool. I can definitely see it's ready for some finesse, like around all the joinery. There's still some fuzzies, and some extra stuff. So not a big deal, but all the joinery looks, ready to assemble, just needs a little bit of cleanup. Looks like we got back legs. I think this would be the back lower support that the back of the chair goes into, because it's even got this little super rabbit routed machined in there. I'm gonna go with headrest, front legs, and then the stretchers on the left and right because they are angled. I think this one splays out some. They're marked left and right even. So I guess this would make the front stretcher between the 2 front legs, all the back slats, got the butt rests, and then all the blocks, which I believe are what attach the seat to everything and help pull it all together. Looks like even included all the screws needed because I noticed some pocket holes in the screws. Of course, looks like way more screws than just 8. Oh yeah, because all these blocks use a lot of screws to help lock everything together. So I think I'm probably gonna review the video. Said he has a link to the instructions, so I'm gonna go over those and then get started. I think the big thing would just be doing some cleaning up. I'm just not sure if it'd be best to apply finish to everything before assembly or after assembly, probably in the directions. So step 1 is take all the components and break them out into individual chairs. This is especially important for me because I'm gonna be not staining, but just doing a natural finish on these, not painting them. So wanna make sure I get a pretty good grain match, color match throughout each chair, etc. Big steps before we put things together is just final sanding. These have all been rough sanded. They feel pretty good, but I'm gonna bring them up to about a 150, 180. For the finish I'm gonna use, go as high as you want, but they are already fairly sanded. And also edge treatments. Most of the edges are still square from where they were machined, which, can splinter out, chip out, break really easy. You can use an 1/8 inch roundover bit. I'm probably just going to break them by hand with sandpaper because I like the unevenness that kind of gets incorporated. The back legs have already been rounded over, but they're the only thing that's been rounded over. And then on the chair, the seat, whole thing's a chair. So on the seat, on the front edge, this is still a sharp corner where the back of the leg hits. So we're gonna use a heavy chamfer or a heavy round over and round this over, doing it on edge and referencing off this face with the bearing following the profile, because if we put the router base here, that big plate isn't gonna follow this contour, and then the round over would not follow the contour that has been carved into these. Rest of this video is probably going to be very much of montage and time-lapse kind of stuff, because it's already kind of made. Just gotta, glue, assemble, and finish, and Mr. Cremona has very fantastic directions. Was just reading over them. So yeah, now you get to see what everyone loves to do the most: sand and route, make sawdust. Got everything sanded with my Mirka Abranet. 2sand.com is a great place to get Abranet if you need a place to buy some Mirka Abranet. Absolutely love that stuff. But anyway, next steps is going to be gluing this together. We do 2 sub-assemblies, the front legs like so, and then the whole back assembly like so. I am about to walk through how all this comes together, but the idea is this is what we're gonna do with glue on everything and a ratchet strap across the lower rail, and then I'll put an F-clamp on this dude. And I'm gonna do something a little different. Instead of using like Titebond 2 or 3, my typical wood glue, I'm actually gonna use Total Boat Flex Epoxy. The reason I'm going that way is epoxy tends to be a little stronger than wood glue, and I've repaired so many chairs where the glue joints have eventually broken just from the stress that they have. Flex epoxy is supposed to be built to stand up very well to contraction, expansion, shock, and vibration. So I'm thinking, since it has a little bit more of a flexible quality to it, all the kind of normal wiggling that a chair gets, it might be able to stand up to that better than a regular wood glue, which is eventually going to just, you know, that glue bond will just, it just breaks. And then the chair normally doesn't fall apart, but then your chair gets wobbly until you take it all apart, re-glue it together. Flexible epoxy might give me a longer life on that. We'll see. My one concern was that maybe it's going to have too much flex and actually the chair will be wobbly because I used it, but I did some test glues and it does set up very rigid. So yeah, a little experiment, something I'm doing different, and I'll let you know in like 10 years if it's seemed to be better than the alternative. Epoxy's had plenty of time to dry, so I can get the ratchet straps off and then do the final sanding. Just remove where I had a little bit of bleed over, and the only point that needs some finesse, which is where the back leg meets the crest rail. These don't perfectly line up just from the manufacturing process, so sand this with a rougher grit just to blend it quickly, then go back to a higher grit, polish it, then I'll be ready to add finish to it. I'm going to be using General Finishes Armor Seal on everything with 1 coat, then I'm going to come back and spray it with several coats of conversion varnish. Almost done. This has been pretty quick. Oh, and we also got to add some blocking and chairs and the seat at some point, but we'll get to that. You'll see. I think it's pretty self-explanatory from here, so we'll just work through it. Now it's time to install the blocking. We have pieces with 2 different angles because obviously this is fairly close to a 90, and then the curved piece on the back, not so much. So the trick to remember which one goes to where is if you set it there and it looks really stupid, it goes to the other side. And if you set it there and you're like, it's pretty close, that's the side it goes to. So yeah, we're gonna screw these in. I have a little piece of cardboard underneath it to elevate these because I wanna make sure that the seat actually sits on the rails and not on the blocks. So even though we're elevating, because the chair's upside down, it's actually just lowering it. So we have the rail here, and that block is gonna sit just a little bit lower, so that way all the weight of the seat is on the rails, not on the blocks. That way it's supported by all the joinery and not just the few pocket screws we're gonna put in here. So we'll screw these together. We got some really nice pocket screws we're gonna shoot in, and then one big boy that's gonna go in through the corners. The only note is this is the hole that actually ties the block to the seat. We wanna make sure that the countersink, we see it, because, you know, otherwise it's no good. Look at all of our beautiful blocking. Now we can make the two become one. So make sure everything's kind of, you know, spaced right. And where I'm looking is back here and up here. When those gaps are the same, I'm going to call it good. Got two more pocket screws that shoot in the back that I'll use to lock the chair in place. One down, 3 to go. It sits nice. See, this is why I bought Cremona chairs. People talk about how short he is. We're actually the same size. So look at that. My feet touch the ground. Perfect. So if you're close to average height, I'm just joking, they're gonna work, they'll be fine.
Perfect.
So of course that wasn't the only project for the dining room makeover. There were 3 projects: the coffee bar, dining table, and the chairs. So if you enjoyed this project, make sure you check out the other ones. If they're not out, they will be out shortly. I'm gonna release them all 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, this is it. I hope you learned something, were inspired, or at least entertained. Until next time, make time to make something.